If you're stressing out about finding a roommate at Clemson, watch this video. One of the biggest questions freshmen ask is whether or not to go random or pick their own roommate. I've done both, so let me walk you through the pros and cons of each. First, let's talk about finding your own roommate. I did this my freshman year through a Clemson freshman Facebook group, and it honestly worked out really well for me. We FaceTimed once or twice before committing to each other and even met in person before move-in day. I know obviously meeting in person isn't feasible for everyone, but it worked out well for us since her grandparents lived in my hometown. Biggest pro here is that you can meet and vet the person a little bit before move-in day. You can also talk about any of your preferences, like your sleep schedule, your class schedule, how often you like to clean your room if you're a very clean person, if you like to party or anything like that. You have the potential to have control over who is living with you, which can help the transition to college be a little smoother. The main con I've seen about choosing your own roommate is that not everyone is exactly who they appear to be online. They could be an entirely different person come move-in day and once you're actually living with them. Also, there's this pressure that you have to be best friends with your roommate. You don't. It can add that pressure and just a little stressful situation if you're not clicking in person. But honestly, if you do your research and ask the right questions, you can avoid most of these problems. Now let's talk about going random. When I moved off campus into my apartment, I went fully random and went by myself into a bedroom. And then every year since then, I've had at least one or two random roommates move in as some of my roommates have graduated or moved out. The biggest pro of going random is that there is zero pressure. You just move in. You don't owe anyone anything. You're not expected to be the best of friends if nothing goes right. And if it doesn't work out, no problem. You'll just get new random roommates next year, and it just truly takes the pressure off of yourself. I've honestly had the best luck. I haven't really had a bad roommate since I've been here for 5 years. It's a pretty good track record. The obvious con of going random is that it's a gamble. You could get someone amazing or you can get a truly horrible roommate. But here's the thing, like most people truly are respectful, and the reality is you're probably gonna have different schedules from your roommate, so you may not bump into them as much as you think. Plus, it forces you to branch out and meet new people instead of just sticking from your day one roommate. Going into my actual advice, if you find someone through a Facebook or Instagram group or through friends that you genuinely like, go for it. Obviously, make sure you FaceTime them, meet them in person if you can, ask the deep and weird and just any questions you can possibly think of. The reality is you will be living in a single room with this person for 9 months. If you don't find anyone that feels right, no pressure at all. Going random is completely fine, and majority of the times it does work out. All in all, your roommate does not have to be your best friend. It just has to be someone that you can live with for 9 months out of the school year. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Whether you go random or choose your own roommate, there are truly pros and cons to each of them. Just make sure you are communicating openly and set expectations early. If you do have any questions about finding a roommate, drop them below and I'll be sure to answer them the best I can. Bye, besties.